Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Pat Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pat Smoker's Bible. It contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Bible to write my prophecy, and you'll want to look it up. And if you do want to look it up, I suggest you start at Psalms and work your way to the end of the Old Testament, because that's where I'm at. And you will find my life story written in the book of Isaiah. Amazing as that sounds, but it's true. The reason why that is because I am the prophesied prophet of Israel. I have come to redeem Israel, and to do so, I've come to introduce you to the ancient gods, or as we call them today, the Grey. I am their associate. I represent them to humanity, and I represent humanity to them. And I am going to talk today about the modern encounters with what we call UFOs, or the Grey. Now, I know that the first thing that people think of when they think of the Grey is abductions. Abductions is the scariest part about the whole Grey thing, okay? So today I'm going to tell you why that happened, why it was necessary, and who to blame for all of your trauma. And let me tell you, it's not the Grey. Now, the Grey they left us to our own devices for 3,000 years because they had to. They had sex with our ancestors, as we know from our mythology, and that created a plague that made them infertile, so they had to clone themselves. So they had to come back so that they could reintroduce their portion of our DNA, the Grey DNA in us, back into their failing clone bodies to recreate themselves into a new species, a viable species that could have children. Now, when they got back in mass, as planned, they contacted the governments of the earth, starting with America. This was done in the 30s. There was an exchange that took place. Technological advancements for human genetics. Now, the agreement that was made by the United States and subsequently other governments on the planet was that in exchange for these technologies that we now enjoy, certain people from the earth would be used to recreate the Grey species. These were supposed to be chosen by the Grey. They were supposed to be introduced by the government. It was supposed to be a voluntary program. The Grey needed the telepathically, genetically enhanced descendants of the earlier priesthood, walking amongst the entire human population is an unknown element of society that contains the genetic code for telepathy. We have just a little bit more Grey in us than normal humans do. Yes, I am one of them. And so are a lot of other my people. Now, the United States government and subsequently the other governments that followed suit reneged on this deal. They wanted super soldiers. So they volunteered their best and brightest soldiers, who were brute animals compared to the telepathically enhanced humans that the Grey wanted and needed. And then, after the Grey tried to make do with this inferior genetic code. The United States government, well, Germany, and then the United States government reneged on the deal. There was to be absolutely no weaponization of a single technology that was given. Case in point, nuclear power. Nuclear power was supposed to end the necessity for money. It was supposed to free us from the need to be dependent on fossil fuels. It was supposed to help us prevent global warming. But the greedy political assholes in Washington, D.C. and around the world condemned our entire race to extinction. Period. Point blank period. That's it. We are extinct. Even now. Because of what is going on in our atmosphere. That we did to our atmosphere. Knowingly. Because they were warned. The Grey told our governments in the 30s, if you do this, you're going to destroy yourselves. We can help you. Take what we're giving you, use it the way we're telling you to use it, stop using money. But you see what they did. You see the truth. You're living it. When nuclear bombs went off, the Greys severed all ties with the governments of the planet. Period. Won't have anything to do with them. Done. Instead, they created me and people like me. They found the genetically pre-altered humans who had the telepathic genes. Because they had planted them all the earth, they knew where they were. And they activated us. They created us. They tricked the governments into creating us, ensuring their own destruction and our salvation. And they did it through the war on drugs, through the prophecy of Israel. Because the prophecy of Israel foretells the war on drugs in great detail. It also foretells the death of George Floyd. It talks about being under the knees of the oppressor. Literally. It's in the Bible. Black Lives Matter are my people taking their first steps towards independence. And they have been led to that moment, this moment, by the Grey, who created them from the ancient priesthood stock. If you get high, I have news for you. You are genetically superior to all other humans on the planet. You have activated latent telepathic genes that have made you into psychics. What we call psychics. But what are, in reality, the highest life form of humans. The highest evolution of humanity. As crazy as that sounds. It is true, and it is in the Bible. That is what Isaiah tells you. That is what Obadiah, that is what Malachi, that is what they all tell you. Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, they're all there. They're telling you that. That's what David told you in Psalms and in Proverbs. That's what Solomon tells you. That's what Israel tells you. And it tells you about me. I am Zion. I am she who travails. I am she who is barren, who sings, who is forsaken by her childhood sweetheart, who God chose for her to be her salvation. That's who I am. That's what I do. Still waiting for him. He's not here yet. Don't even know if he's alive or not. My last contact with him, somebody told me he died. I don't care. Doesn't change anything. Because I'm a medium. If he's dead, that's fine with me. Because I got dead people all around me. And they won't leave me because they say they're here to support me. So dead or alive, he's still my chosen one. He knows who he is. And if he doesn't, well, he'll find out soon enough. And it'll be his own fault. I'm not repenting a bit about any of it. I am about ready to create a controversy unlike any controversy ever known to mankind, and it will be the end of the United States of America. Just so you know, America is a dying nation. But the nation that's soon to replace it, the nation of Zion, that will be a perpetual nation that will never end. It will go on well beyond the life of this planet and solar system. Someday, we will be the ones traveling across the universe looking for a suitable planet to inhabit and call our own. That is the promise of the Grey. That is the promise that they gave me for my people. So, if you want your descendants to go on forever, then embrace the Grey, because that's what they're offering you. Salvation from self-destruction. A plan and a means to institute it. One single way to save a third of humanity from the fall that has already playing out before our eyes. Nuclear explosions kill planets. Pollution kills species. Global warming wipes out everything. And without the Grey's help, we're doomed. So, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and always keep you safe. May you be worthy of them, and not the other way around. You think God is dependent on you? No. They will go on without us. But I guarantee you we will not go on without them. And that's our own fault. So, may your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn light. Be the joy, spread the joy. Be happy and high. Know that I love you. We'll be together soon in Zion. Happy, safe, free. And with a lot of work to do. So, until then, later. Because I will never say goodbye.